Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm coming with a bombshell about the private life of Yaman and Sara Bluma. Because what's being said these days has completely blown up the story of this couple. First, a rumor came out that Khan had stopped following her on social media because she had been unfaithful to him. That already set the media on fire. But now, things are getting even bigger. People are talking about who this third person might be. And watch out, because it wouldn't be just any random stranger. The versions going around point to someone from the upper social circle. A businessman, an influential figure, or even someone very close to Khan's own environment. According to insider sources, this wouldn't be a simple gossip story. But the real key to why the relationship ended, this alleged betrayal hit Sara's image hard and fits with Khan's reaction of cutting contact on social media. In fact, people around him say there's relief. For them, if the infidelity is confirmed, it becomes clear that Khan acted rightly and isn't to blame for the breakup. Meanwhile, Khan stays silent. He doesn't join the media war, doesn't respond, doesn't feed the scandal. And that silence is interpreted as a way of holding steady under pressure, trying to protect himself emotionally. Some analysts believe the relationship had been tense for a while because of Khan's intense professional life and the huge expectations placed on the couple. But what still needs to be known is how much truth there is to this double life now being attributed to Sara, and how close she really was to the man she supposedly hid. The public is totally invested. Khan's fans react with anger and sadness, seeing him as the victim, and at the same time, they start doubting the sincerity with which Sara spoke about love in public. The tabloids insist on the shadow of a third person as the direct cause of the end. And the fact that everything exploded right after the social media unfollowing makes people think Khan may have discovered something before or during the breakup. Right now, the media are desperate to know the name. Every clue is analyzed. Whether that lover was already known in Khan's or Sara's circle, how many people knew, and how much of this rumor network is based on real witnesses. The tension is also felt around Sara, where the topic has apparently already exploded and the list of suspects keeps growing, mixing celebrities and influential people. It's even said that the alleged infidelity wouldn't have affected only Khan, but also splashed onto other figures close to him, making the whole thing even bigger. And there's another key detail. Khan is reportedly pulling away from part of his social circle as a kind of personal cleansing, cutting off what he considers toxic. That isolation is read as a turning point in his life, protecting himself, rebuilding, and holding on to his strongest bonds, especially those he has in Italy, while Sara's social and professional standing remains under pressure. In short, this is no longer just a famous breakup. It's a scandal involving betrayal, power, reputations at stake, and a third name that, once revealed, could trigger a domino effect in the entertainment world and high society. And while everyone watches every move, Khan's cold silence only raises the tension. If you want, as soon as more data comes out, or there's a clear confirmation of who that third person might be, we'll go through it here in detail. With all this whirlwind of comments about Demet Özdemir, I'm left with a bitter feeling. No matter what she does, there's always someone ready to turn her into the character of the moment. I'm tired of seeing her name used as fuel for theories that change every week, almost always with the same intention, either painting her as the calculating woman pulling strings in the shadows, or as the perfect culprit for any story surrounding Can Yaman. And I'm not buying any of those caricatures. What I see is a public woman who's demanded absolute consistency in a world that hardly demands it from anyone else. One of the things that bothers me most is how easily people talk about her personal life as if it were a TV script. She went to work one day and didn't come back. She went to live with Can. Everything was planned. Everything is fake. To me, that sounds like people who need a closed plot to feel safe. Reality is rarely that neat. And when I hear such tidy, perfectly rounded versions designed to sound final, they feel more like the product of heated fandom than of facts. In that narrative, Demet isn't a person. She's a wild card assigned whatever role is convenient at the moment. I also find it unfair how her romantic history is used as a weapon. If people talk about a peaceful divorce or a messy breakup, she's immediately placed at the center, as if she had to give public explanations to validate her own past. And when delicate topics are dragged in, dark accusations, family conflicts, or issues involving children, my stomach turns. Not because I want to defend her blindly, but because it feels brutal to turn rumors of that magnitude into ammunition for social media. If there's real pain in those things, it's not entertainment. And if there isn't, it's even worse. It's smearing someone for sport. What I also notice is that Demet is judged by a bizarre moral yardstick. On one hand, some attack her by saying everything she does is vulgar, that her public appearances have made people hate her, as if a woman needed permission to exist publicly without being punished for her style or the way she presents herself. That judgment feels old and comfortable to me. It doesn't criticize a specific action. It punishes an attitude, a freedom. And what's striking is that when a male actor has the same exposure, they call it charisma. When she has it, they call it provocation. That double standard irritates me. Then there's the eternal theory that it's all strategy, that if people talk about her now, it's so that after a certain project we'll see them together again, that the noise is just to prepare the ground. I understand why that idea is tempting. It's easy to believe there's a master chessboard where everything moves for marketing. But to me, it's a simplification that erases Demet as a professional, as if she didn't have her own career, as if her value depended on returning to a famous on-screen pairing. And no, Demet has shown she can carry a project on her own, that she has an audience, presence, and strength. Reducing her to half of a couple is taking away her agency. Another thing that stands out is the way people debate her life as if they know more than she does. There are comments about custody, courts, who deserves what, without knowing what happens behind closed doors. To me, that crosses a line. You can have opinions about what you see, sure. But when you start using intimate matters as proof for your theory, you're not giving an opinion anymore. You're inventing a verdict. And Demet doesn't have to live under the court of the internet for her life to be considered valid. Deep down, what I sense is something much simpler and more human. Demet is trapped in the reflection of a story the public doesn't want to let go of. Some people still look at her through Can Yaman, as if her identity were frozen in that period. And every time she moves, changes projects, partners, or direction, that public reacts as if she's breaking the ending they wrote in their heads. I find that sad, because it says more about other people's expectations than about her. So my conclusion is clear. I don't need to believe in big conspiracies to understand what's happening. I see an actress trying to live and work while being turned into an involuntary star of a circus of narratives. I see a woman who's expected to be pure, silent, or endlessly self-justifying, and who still keeps moving forward. That's why, when I hear that everything is fake, everything is a plan, everything is her fault, all I think is that people aren't really looking at Demet. They're using her. And it's time to see her for what she is, a person and a professional, not a piece everyone rearranges to fit their own story.